Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dropped Frames Co. What episode are we on?
42,373.
All right. We skipped, well, not skipped. We did 2,000 episodes between last week and now. If you missed them, there are no VODs. Unfortunately, Zeke got a little crazy and I had to delete every VOD. All 2,000 of the VODs.
I still blame it on you singing I Will Survive over and over again and us getting DMCA'd for that.
There's a lot of DMCAs that were at work, yeah. Luckily, I
Totally
just deleted
valid.
the VOD. So, Twitch can't do anything. That's how it goes. What a weird week, especially after all of the weeks of brand new games. I feel like we finally got a little bit of a break for a little while in terms of new releases, which is kind of nice and also kind of crappy. I want more new games. I'm sad that there's not any new games coming out. I guess Phoenix Point is the next one, and then after that, it's kind of nothing till January, right? Am I missing any?
Unless you're a Mech Warrior fan.
Yeah, there's Mech Warrior 5, the fifth one. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
December 10th.
And then I guess Path of Exile is on the 13th, and then that's it. So, Zeke, you were talking about yesterday how this is your favorite time, your time to shine, so to speak.
Yes, when all the new games are put away for Christmas, they're all put to bed, they're all tucked into their respective rooms,
mm-hmm.
And then the old guys get out to play, and we come out and we play with our old games, our old toys, like our Tiger mini games, like Street Fighter and Karate Kid and that kind of stuff.
Karate Kid, I haven't thought about that game.
Wax on.
Yeah. Do you ever watch Cobra Kai, Zeke, by the way, that the new show about the Karate Kid people?
Well, I've never even heard of this. What is this?
It's a YouTube only show, which don't let that scare you from quality, but
that's probably why though.
It's actually pretty good. I think there's 2, maybe 3 seasons. And the main character is the guy who fights the Karate Kid in the tournament.
Zabka?
Yeah, I think he's the main he's the main character.
Blonde.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's like 40 years old. And
good for him.
And
good for him.
He's not in a good spot at the beginning of the show.
I would assume not. I would assume after he lost to the Karate Kid, he fell into drugs or drinking or something like that. He had he's been divorced a couple of times. He tells his kids all about I remember back when I was young, kids. I was the top of the karate pile. Whatever.
No kids. What's the Karate Kid's name? I'm tired of calling him the Karate Kid. Is it
Daniel LaRusso?
LaRusso owns LaRusso Motor Parts or something like that. He owns car dealerships. He's like a big deal, and so that's what the show's about. You should watch it. It's actually not bad. It's pretty quick watches too. I think each episode's about 30 minutes. So
is it what's the name of his dealership? Is it Karate Cars?
I think it's LaRusso Vehicles or LaRusso Motor or something like that.
Oh, it's nothing karate related. Okay.
No, but he does in his so part of the show is in his commercial he does a bunch of karate kicks at the end of it. That's his signature thing because in the city where they live, everyone remembers him as the karate champion of that.
Sure.
Year.
So he does an old Elvis. Comes on stage and just does these karate moves. And he's 50,
Yeah, and Billy fucking hates him. Billy sees the commercials and throws beer bottles and shit at him. It's really good. It's good.
Oh, for sure,
you should check it out. It's not bad.
No, I mean I want him to sell Mazda Miyagi's. I want him to put Karate Kid cars in there or something like that.
Oh God. I don't think he sells Mazda Miyagi's. I haven't gotten that far in the show. You might be jumping the gun. Maybe you know something I don't. But yeah, I don't think that's a thing. Anyways, go watch Cobra Kai, Zeke. For now though, I guess we don't really have
that down.
Do what? Oh yeah,
write that down.
You should check
that
it.
Sounds awesome.
It's called Cobra Kai. It's pretty good. And the
that's the funny thing. I had a discussion, I don't know, just a hypothetical discussion about man, I wish they would do what happened after the 80s bullies of all those 80s shows that you hated, or the bullies that you hated in those 80s movies.
Yeah,
I wonder what happened to him afterwards. I talked about that, and I mentioned I think his name's William Zabka from Karate Kid. I want to know what he did after the Karate Kid kicked him in the face you know, and stuff like that. So
you gotta watch
that's awesome. I also want to know what happened to the kid that from Monster Squad that called Fat Kid Fat and made him like eat a ground Snickers. Like, I want to know what happened to that kid. Rudy, that's his name, Rudy.
I don't know. I've never. What is Monster Squad? That goes. I think that's before my time. Code, do you know what Monster Squad is?
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, that's before my time. I don't know what.
You guys never watched Monster Squad?
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Monster Squad. It's like, oh god, it's so bad. It was a shitty 80s movie where all of the movie monsters, like the Universal movie monsters, are in it. Dracula, Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Mummy. Like they're and like, I'm not spoiling much because it happens at the beginning of the movie. Dracula revives all of them and wants to like take over everything.
Sure.
So he raises the creature from the Black Lagoon. He zaps Frankenstein's monster and wakes him up. And Frankenstein is like this bad guy, but he's really a good guy, kind of a thing. Like it's just so poorly like shot and acted but it speaks to my childhood because I loved monsters. Like what like 8-year-old kid doesn't love monsters, you know?
It's true. It's true. You remember Little Monsters? I remember Little Monsters, the Nickelodeon show. That might have been too.
Oh yeah, the dude that holds his eyes.
Yeah, what was his name? Like Itch or some shit? Like what was his name? I don't remember.
I do not remember. He was a baller.
Yeah, that came on after I think Rugrats. That's why.
And there was like the worm snake thing.
Yeah,
and
there was a female character too that was like a triangle thing. If I remember that, maybe she was a witch. But wasn't I think.
Crumb. You're thinking of like All Real Monsters?
Yeah.
Yeah. Little Monsters actually had Howie Mandel in it, which was also a fan-fucking-tastic and
remember that.
Really bad movie.
I don't remember that.
Oh, wait, we haven't introduced ourselves. Today on Boomer Chat, we're going to be talking about
talking about old shows. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, don't say that in my chat, though.
Uh-oh. Do you get permanent banned?
You'll just get timed out.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Oh, speaking of timed out, I've had 3 people ban themselves now for 24 hours via the channel points. So it's working out. People are really excited to get banned for 24 hours. I got to say, I didn't expect it. 150,000 points. So we've had 3 people do it thus far, and a bunch are working on it. They're on their way, apparently.
So do you think it's like a Japanese Sudoku thing where it's like, I'm doing this for the channel, or do you think it's more like God, I have an addiction, I need to time myself out? Where do you think the perspective is?
I don't know. Maybe they hate themselves so much for watching they need an out. I mean, that's how I look at it. They need an out.
Kind of like a drug addiction, gotta just break it off.
Yeah, that's how I'm kind of approaching it. So
sounds pretty legit.
Yeah, but we've had 3 people. It's a big deal when someone bans themselves. So yeah.
So I was watching Day 9 a few days ago while I was putting together a shelf, and he was talking about channel points. He's like, I don't want to clutter up my chat with channel points. If I did it, I would do it like JP and have it be like you could ban yourself for 24 hours because he thought that like Sean thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, sounds like I've had a bunch of Twitch staff reach out to me, and channel points are supposed to be like a reward for your community. I'm like, nah, we'll just ban them for 24 hours. That's what they go. Does that work? And I go, well, we've had 3 people get 150,000 points. They're like, huh. All right. They never ask me anything else about channel
missed
points.
Opportunity, JP. Yeah. It is a reward. Have you ever seen my damn channel?
Yeah, that's what I should have said. Yeah, channel points are still in a weird. There's a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of people getting watch parties as well now, and that's starting to make the rounds of like how it's a bad product because it's just you can't talk over it and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean I agree, but
it's been kind of interesting because they went around and asked a lot of different streamers what they thought of the current iteration of viewing parties.
Watch parties, yeah.
And I know that myself and others were like, man, this is very limited. This is very limited, and this is very limiting.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna do with this. Like, this is kind of an issue. And then they released viewing parties, and they have all the stuff in them that we said are an issue. And then people are now tweeting about it on Twitter, and Twitch employees are responding to them like, oh, this is just the first iteration. We're still working on it, blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of like, it's cool that you're saying that, but you already have like all the feedback about why we don't like it.
Yeah.
And then it went live with all that feedback. So I don't really think it's going to change. So I'm kind of confused, like what the Twitch employees are talking about.
Yeah.
Because they already know what we don't like about it, and they went ahead and did it anyway. Now, to their credit, their hands are very tied because of licensing and all sorts of things. But at the same time, I'm just wondering, like, how are they going to make it better? Like, what exactly are we waiting for to change? Because I don't think much can change.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where exactly what you're saying, where like they got the feedback, they went live with it, probably because it's too hard to do all that stuff as fast as they were wanting, or as fast as they were coming up to a deadline of actually putting it out there. And then they put it out there and they get all the same feedback. And I feel like a lot of those people that are saying those things are employees that like, yeah, we need to change all that stuff. This is alpha, but we don't know when that's going to happen. So this is what we have to say for now. Like it's the type of thing where
like, I'm wondering
that maybe they shouldn't
do they
have
know
said
more
anything.
than us?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do they know more than us in this situation? Are the things actually changing, or is that just like a kind of like a Google Stadia thing? Like, we know it sucks. We'll just work on it. You know, like,
yeah,
we all know you're not going to be able to do anything, but okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the type of product where like we've ran, I don't know, we're probably in like double digits in the amount of watch parties that we've run here. And they're definitely like, they're fun because it's the type of thing where I can just get off of the stream, put on a movie that I want to watch, and people in chat can like hang out and watch, but it doesn't show up in any directory. There's no discoverability on it at all. So unless you follow me on Twitter and see the link, that's the only way you can see it, unless you go to the website.
Real quick, sorry to cut you off, but I'm noticing a lot of folks in chat don't know what viewing parties is. Would you mind explaining what they are real quick?
Sure, yeah. Watch parties is the proper term
Watch
that
parties.
Twitch says, but viewing parties, same thing. Basically what happens is you are given via the Twitch dashboard, you're given a catalog of everything that Amazon, a curated list of Amazon video content. And that ranges from Amazon original shows like Jack Ryan to movies like Chef to movies like Spaceballs, which we've watched. And, you know, there's a bunch of different stuff on there. They've got some anime. They've got kind of things for every type of media. And then you basically click go, and it takes your stream and it forwards everyone with a little pop-up that says twitch.tv/ in case of my stream, twitch.tv/ itmeJP / watch party. And on that page, it replaces it with the Amazon video player, like the actual Amazon video player, replaces the Twitch player with that and starts the movie. You have no control over pausing the movie. You have no control over putting your own audio or own video. You're not actually technically streaming anything yourself. It just starts the movie. And the only people that can watch it are US Amazon Prime owners. Anyone else is not able to see the selected media. So that in itself automatically dwarfs watch parties in terms of the actual viewership by a shit ton. I think we've had at max like 200, 300 people. After like a drop frames where we had 6,000 or 7,000 watching, it immediately dwarfed that all the way down. Because it's so selective in terms of have to be an Amazon Prime owner, have to live in the US. And I'm sure there's ways to like VPN it, but the other thing is it turns off all like notifications, I guess is maybe the greater way to say it, in the chat. So in the watch party chat, so you can't sub, tip, anything like that. You can in the normal chat, it just won't come over in the watch party chat.
So it doesn't even show in the chat that people are doing it.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't
like
show
if
at all.
somebody subbed from a non-sub, you would just see them without the sub icon, and then they would just have the sub icon. Does it even show the sub icon?
Yes, I think it does. I think it does show sub icons. Yeah. I'm trying to think back. I think it does. And I assume that's all not because Twitch didn't turn that stuff on. It's because of like legal issues, of the fact that they don't want, I don't know. I can't think of the legal reason, but I'm sure it's because of one. So yeah. What was that?
Oh, that definitely just bled into my chat a little bit. Somebody just claimed a 50K highlighted message and says, "So can I get a 24-hour ban?" And instantly one of my mods just smashed him. Thank you, Sarah.
There you go. Thank you for your service, sir. Appreciate it. So yeah, it's the type of thing where it's like, when does that actually start to change? Like when do they get enough feedback? Like I'm curious of like, hey, we're announcing some new stuff for watch parties, and it's this. Is that like after December? Is that in December? I don't know. It's been about, I guess, a month for that product to be out there. They haven't really changed much. And apart from me, I haven't really seen too many people like using it a lot. I know that like, I think I saw a couple of streamers get in yesterday, but all they did was just capture the email and said, "Hey, I'm not going to use this, but I got in." So it's like, I'd rather
I'm going to be
get
trying it pretty soon.
yeah. It was the type of thing where it's like, "Hey, I got the social media cloud of shitting on Twitch, so that's enough for me from this product. Let's move on." So, yeah, it's interesting, and it's also the type of thing where I don't want to run too many movies, because if they do ever allow us to put like video and audio over it, then like the audience has recently seen it, so it's not going to be as interesting. So I don't know. It's a weird product for sure. But you said you're going to be trying it pretty soon, Co?
Yeah. I'm actually doing a thing. I don't know if it's public yet, but I'm doing a thing with some stuff coming up.
Cool. Okay.
Not to be, too,
Sure.
but yeah,
No, I
I got a thing with some stuff coming up.
Is it? Can I ask question? Is it with the watch party, or are you going to be actually like watching something?
I believe it is with a watch party. I believe I'm going to be hosting a watch party. Yeah.
Okay.
And testing it out and seeing how it is. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to it, just so I can kind of get hands on with it and see how it is. And
yeah. I mean, there's not too much stuff that you can actually do. You click play on a video. So, well, now you got more people getting banned.
my chat sometime. No, I say I'm going to host a watch party, and immediately it erupts with Poland.
Oh,
do you even know what watch parties are? Like, what?
Well, yeah, you're going to Poland to host a watch party. That's what I heard.
Yeah. I'm going out of town on December 5th. I'm literally leaving in the morning and returning in the evening. There is no physical possible way I can go to Poland. Apparently, I'm going to Poland.
Yeah. I've started to use that for anything that I can't talk about, or if I don't want to say who I'm talking to, it's Poland. It's just become the fill-in word. So you got to embrace it, Co. You can't. Can't rally against it. You got to say, yeah, I am going to Poland.
I think the only thing I can do at this point is learn Polish. I think that's. I mean, since I'm going there so often, I at least need to speak the language.
It's a valuable language to learn. Everyone uses it worldwide, so you should definitely get into that. Yeah.
Co has portal tech.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
That old portal tech. The Polish invented it. Everyone knows that, but they keep it to themselves.
It's well known. It's actually part of their national anthem.
Yeah, exactly. Where should we start with the actual show instead of just fucking talking about nonsense? Do you guys watch this HalfLife Alex trailer? Have you seen this?
Yes.
Zeke, have you seen this?
What, Half-Life? Oh, no, I haven't seen the trailer, no.
All right, let's do a trailer watch.
Let's watch a trailer. We can do the trailer watch.
Let's watch a trailer. Here we go.
I am happy to watch this one again.
All right, here we go. I think everything's set up. Let me know if you guys can't hear this.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's just really quiet.
Alex!
I'm here. So what's the plan?
If we can get this weapon, what we're doing here could change things forever.
Weapon.
There's no straight shot to the vault. I'm gonna head inside, find a way out.
Got it. I'm with you every step of the way.
You're gonna need a gun. Don't worry, it's unloaded. It's unloaded now.
Combine chatter's really picking up. They know you're coming. You need to get out of here, now. Oh, God.
They've got Dad.
They're gonna find out what he knows, and then they're gonna kill him.
All this is my fault. I never told you. I couldn't. I'm so sorry, baby.
You will not save him. Alex Vance alone cannot prevent his fate.
Close your eyes, honey.
Man. Woo!
So yeah, that came out, and it's interesting because I feel like that single-handedly made VR relevant.
Let's take a look at all of the things he didn't notice.
Jesus, autoplay videos are loud. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I know that the discussion around VR definitely picked up because of that, and so many people are much more interested in VR because of that. But also, if you go look, and this might just be because they're placing it there, but if you go look at the bestseller list on Steam, the index is like near the top again. I know I bought one,
great.
but the week that was announced, not necessarily, I bought it like 2 or 3 days before the actual trailer. But yeah, I don't know, VR is cool again all of a sudden because Valve decided to do something with it, which is a little interesting. But I think trailer wise, it looks cool. It's the type of thing where I feel like the three of us have played so much VR where we want to see like what the new aspect of VR looks like. Like, what are they doing that's different when it comes to VR? That'll be the biggest thing. And they showed a little bit of it there, I think, when she's like on the shelf, or when the player is on the shelf and goes like this and moves everything. That type of stuff is pretty cool and not something that's been like wildly used in a lot of VR stuff. But yeah, apart from that, like, it looks cool. I don't know if it's going to be like the de facto system seller, or hardware seller, I guess, not system seller. But I'm definitely interested in playing it. Like, there's no doubt that I'm going to play it, even though it looks like it's going to have a little bit of that Half-Life horror element to it, where you're kind of sneaking around and Half-Life things happen. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. I don't know. Zeke, you saw it for the first time there. What are you thinking after watching it?
I mean, I'm in. Like, I'm not the biggest Half-Life fan. Like, I played both of both. I played all of the games that were, labeled Half-Life and that kind of stuff, and it looks cool. Like, I really hope they have like a terrifying element to it, a la the like face crabs head crabs, because I was thinking face huggers from Aliens. But I hope they have those where like shit like jumps out and you have like there's these tense moments where you have to like shoot the shit before it like attaches to your melon and starts sucking the life away or whatever.
Yeah,
I love that. I hope it's because I loved Resident Evil 7. It's probably one of my favorite VR experiences, and if they can like ape that a little bit, I think it'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Go. What are your thoughts on it? I know on Twitter you were super into it, but I haven't actually talked about it.
I mean, I absolutely loved RE7. I really enjoyed Asgard's Wrath, which I have I've played 10 plus hours of now.
Really?
And knowing coming from Asgard's Wrath and seeing games really start to like enjoy and utilize VR as like main mechanics, I'm really excited about this. And I know I'm kind of in the minority here. I know most people are not super excited for this for good reasons. One, it's VR. Two, we haven't seen a Valve game in like a decade.
Yeah.
There's lots of reasons to be lukewarm about this. However, I gotta say, from looking at the trailer, I see many mechanics and things that are like VR only. I see a lot of creative uses of VR, which I'm super excited about. And but this all comes around to one thing though. I really want to stream it. And unfortunately, it was one of the reasons I stopped streaming Asgard's Wrath was because VR has a long way to go to making their preview not cause motion sickness for a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's easy things they can do to fix it that I'm really, really hoping we'll see in HalfLife Alex. Like, for instance, smoothing the preview, increasing the FOV of the preview, like little things that basically make something go from nauseating to completely watchable. So my hope is that before Alex gets here, they will do something about that. But if they don't, then I don't really know. Like, especially if it's a long game, if it's like what they say, 15 hours or something.
So Jeff Keighley's like doing a documentary or something on it, and he was saying that he does playthroughs in like 15 hours, I think, is what they're aiming for there. So
yeah. Now, I did hear about, though, there's apparently a service when I was tweeting at Valve about this. A lot of people responded and said, don't even bother. They're not going to listen. But what was interesting is one company responded called, I think it was called Live, Liv, and apparently they make some kind of software that can make a preview that has all the things that I was talking about in it.
Really?
That's the company, for instance, if you've ever seen a Beat Saber streamer that is showing their full body,
Yeah.
and they're like, and it's synced up with Beat Saber, apparently it's that company. So I haven't looked into it too much, but if they're able to deliver this, like if they're able to deliver the software so I can play all of Half-Life Alex and have it be watchable and easy to watch for like even people with motion sickness, that would change VR streaming for me. You would see a lot more VR from me.
Yeah.
I will say there's a lot of really cool VR stuff that streamers don't know about yet. Like for instance, in the Rift, you can put Twitch chat in the middle of your view on the Rift, and you will see it in your headset, but they will not see it in the preview.
Right.
So there's lots of little cool things like that you can do. You can add any window on your desktop into your headset, and the people in the preview can't see it. So like I had my mod chat sitting right there in VR next to Twitch chat, and they could get my attention and do everything as normal. But if I looked right at it in VR, you wouldn't see anything on the screen.
Yeah.
So there's some good stuff coming down the pipeline, but it all kind of needs to add together when Alex gets here, and I don't know if it will by then.
Yeah. There's definitely a ton of like VR stuff that's third party when it comes to streaming and even just playing it as well. There's actually I was playing Asgard's Wrath as well, but I was curious because I bought the index and I was curious how it was actually running. And so there's like a $3 Steam app called FPS VR, and on like your left wrist, if you flick it, it gives you like a full readout of all of the like hardware information, like FPS, hardware usage when it comes to like CPU and GPU and all that stuff. And that's the type of stuff where I haven't seen that in a game yet. And so the fact that there are third-party apps is really cool. And it makes it really nice to be able to play a game like that and actually see like what it's doing performance-wise. Because you can't like run a benchmark for a lot of these VR games. I am curious though, you were playing, so I played Asgard's Wrath on the index and was running at 120 hertz on the displays inside. When you played it on the Oculus, is that just 60 hertz or 60 refresh rate? Like, I don't know enough about the Oculus hardware to know if there was a difference there. Because I had a bunch of people
I don't know enough to answer your question.
Okay. That's a first on the Drop Frame show where we actually admitted we don't know enough about something.
I'm really
not
expecting Co to just lie about it and just
yeah,
say,
that's what we usually do.
It's like 6 million actually.
The Rift actually runs at 790 hertz.
790 hertz. Nice.
Yeah, and it actually, but it doesn't really matter because it actually beams the lasers right under your retina, so you don't really get so fast you can see.
I was curious. I'm glad you can confirm that here on the show.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah,
but yeah, I had a bunch of people saying that it was definitely smoother. That had watched your stream and watched my stream. That it was smoother on mine, and I was wondering if that's attributed to the fact that it was running at 120 hertz.
It could have been.
I don't know. I haven't looked at it myself, and that doesn't make sense logically because it's what I'm seeing, not what Chad is seeing. I don't know. It would be an interesting thing to compare those two.
Well, the preview is supposed to, it's just a clone of the VR with less FOV. So theoretically, if the VR is running better, the preview should be running better.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. This is another thing, since we're kind of on this VR talk, and there's actually VR news this past week that's a little bit relevant. Have you guys seen Boneworks at all? Have you heard about this? Because Boneworks is fucking crazy.
I've had people ask me about it, but I remember a long time ago, like Lyric was one of the first like VR games that he streamed, was like a super in-depth gun simulator, and the big meme that was going around is people were like throwing the magazines at each other and dropping the guns and they fire. This is not that, right?
I don't know if that's this. This definitely is like a game built around guns and physics, and it's the type of thing where apparently a couple of the developers that have worked on this comes out on like December the 3rd or December the 10th. But a bunch of the devs that worked on this and worked on the gunplay actually have been to Valve and like apparently have worked or consulted or helped something along the lines with Half-Life Alex.
Okay.
But it's pretty crazy, like watching. There's a thing in here. Let's see if I can find it. Where he like punches a guy. Yeah, this is it right here. He punches this guy and then puts him into a locker. Which is, it sounds so simple and sounds like Hitman of like, yeah, I'm going to press X and it's going to play the animations. No, he actually has to like shove this guy into the locker. which is kind of crazy.
Even for a wireframe model, that looks so brutal.
Yeah. Like, And he's like, look at him actually do. It's crazy to me that this
Just punch him in the ass. Yeah, get him in there.
It's pretty nuts to see this stuff, and to see like if this is the type of stuff that I think is in the HalfLife Alex and this game, like maybe VR has some more stuff to get interested in. But he can't.
I love that you watch this and you're like, I think I could get into this more.
I mean, that's fucking cool. Like, you don't think about that stuff because when you play like a Hitman game, you drag a body and then walk over to a thing and press X and the animation plays and you put him in there. But in this game, it's like, no, what if you actually had to drag the body yourself and then shove him into a locker yourself while manipulating his limbs? Like, that's kind of an interesting thing that only VR games could do.
Well, I like how realistic it is because I was a bully in high school and shoving a kid in a locker it's
tough.
It's cardio. You gotta have some cardio and some upper body strength to get that kid in there.
Oh God. They also have like a slow-mo in here, and the gunplay in this game is supposed to be unrivaled. That's kind of what they're pushing for this. But yeah, this to me, this is kind of like one of the next evolutions, I guess, of where VR could go, and in my interest, like should go. The fact that he goes slow-mo and like does this weird stuff where he can manipulate the gun and like throw the clip into the thing, try to be a badass, but then still fail it's an interesting way to look at that stuff. I just want to see more. Like, show me some stuff like this and Alex, where it'll get me super interested in VR once again. And I think also put like VR back in the. I don't know if it ever was removed from the spotlight, but I do feel that like VR had a peak and then it kind of just dropped because nothing else was like interesting that was coming out for it after all the different headsets came out. Now you just get like small little updates and it's like, oh, that's interesting, and then that's it. There's no other news about it.
The thing with VR is it's frequently had publicity explosions, but it's never really had that actual conventional explosion, like where people are flocking to the stores to get headsets. The closest I think we've gotten there maybe was the PSVR, but
yeah,
like VR is still to this day an extremely enthusiast product. Like when people were talking about Alex the day the trailer came out, they were like, "Oh, cool! That's the one where you use that $800 index headset, right?" It's kind of like, yeah, we're just not quite there yet.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of thing where that maybe this is kind of where the first step is to get in. Funny enough, to kind of go back about this game though, it's really interesting, especially between me and you and like our different tastes and stuff, because for me, like gunplay in VR, that isn't something that really interests me.
Really?
Like this looks kind of cool to me, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, they've had shooting galleries in VR. Like those were the first things they had in VR was shooting galleries. And even if they're super realistic, like it still kind of feels like a shooting gallery. For me, I really want to see companies utilize VR in creative and interesting ways with different mechanics, things I've never seen before.
Sure.
Which is one of the reasons I was so like pleased with Asgard's Wrath and like the God mode and picking stuff up and then going back and like
cool.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's cool to see like people that are really into the gun see stuff like this and be like, this could be the thing that gets me into it. So, it's kind of a best of both worlds situation.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
this looks to have some really cool non-gun stuff in it too, though. So,
yeah. I mean,
stuffing people into lockers. I mean, that's huge.
More than the gunplay is definitely, I think, one of the bigger points here, but it's also the fact that it's like the physics are as close as they have tried to be, or close as any game I think I've seen in VR to real life. There's also another scene, I don't know if I can find it here, where he has to like climb up to get I think it's right here. So he's trying to get on top of this thing to get ammo, and so he sets a chair down, jumps on the chair, and then has to pull himself on top of this to grab that box. And it's like,
dude,
yeah,
that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, man. Imagine a Portal game like that where the entire game was just puzzle solving, just stuff like that. It just puts you in a room with a ton of objects. Your objective is like a foot from the ceiling, and it's like, get the objective.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of stuff that makes me be like, okay, this is stuff you could not really do, like outside of with the spatial awareness and everything. Oh man, that's cool. That's really cool.
Funny enough, in the interview that Keeley put out with the HalfLife Alex devs, he asked them like, why not Portal? Like I think most people would think Portal is the next game for VR. They said that they thought about it, but the fact that the game is about going through portals and like manipulating the camera, that they couldn't because people would just throw up nonstop.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like just walking around normally in VR is a lot for some people. Portals and everything on top of that. Imagine getting into one of those things where you put like 2 portals on top of each other.
Oh,
You just start going super fast between them, and you're just like, ah!
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot just watching it on a screen for people. Like being in the that would be a lot for sure. Yeah.
Although now that I'm thinking about it, it could also be kind of fun under the right circumstances.
It would be
Like,
fun,
for instance,
yeah, if you got used to it.
There was a I don't know the name of the title. I was supposed to do a sponsored stream for a game, and then it wasn't out when I was supposed to do the stream, so I just did Asgard's Wrath instead. But the game was sold to me as you're playing a mech that apparently can either fly or jump really high, and like the game is about like jumping between buildings and stuff. And I immediately when I got the op, I was like, wait, seriously? Because that sounds like it'd be kind of fun as hell in VR. Like you apparently like run to the end of buildings and then leap, and like you're flying through the air and stuff, and you got to grab the other buildings and like pull yourself up. And I don't even remember the name of it.
Is that the name of it?
Maybe.
Because I've
Do you play a robot?
Yeah, someone in chat mentioned that, and it's one of those games that I haven't bought yet, but I've definitely tried it.
Let me take a look and see.
I'm saying Spider-Man, dude. Like that would be
Spider-Man VR. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Spider-Man VR.
Like the mobility of the last year's game in VR, just like with the VR controller, just shooting webs and doing all that shit. Man, that'd be fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
There is a Spider-Man VR.
Spider-Man VR.
There is one. Okay.
Yeah, it's
is it good? Is it any good? How come I've not heard of it?
I think it's PSVR stuff.
Okay.
Has anyone played it? Is it cool? Oh yeah, but it sucks.
Yeah, there's kind of mixed. It's one of those things where it's cool the first time, but it's not something you're going to go and revisit. I feel like that's VR in a nutshell for a lot of people. It's like, yeah, that's cool. Probably won't play it again. Which is why it probably hasn't taken off, because it's cool experiences is $30, right? Like the VR software is pretty.
A lot for a tech demo.
Yeah, it's a lot for a tech demo.
While that what was that thing called we were looking at?
Boneworks
what
is the name of that.
Boneworks.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, that video.
I want to see what type of porn made that like technology happen.
Oh, the physics of that? Yeah.
Because we know that most technological advances in the past 20 years have all just been because of pornography.
Right.
And obviously their name is Boneworks, so I'm guessing they just came from
maybe.
That's a really good question.
I've not seen that conversation.
And then like what type of porn, what influence, like who was involved, like these.
Yeah, man.
Zeke, sometimes you wonder why you're on this show. It's because you ask the real question.
Yeah.
It's
right.
The thing is Zeke needs to go to another con where they allow the porn industry to be there so they can get the latest and greatest on VR porn. Because like it was at E3 2 years ago, and it wasn't there this past E3, I think. Right?
I don't like it. It was like 4 years ago. I have to.
Was it that long?
Yeah, it was that long ago, man.
Jeez. Okay.
It was when they weren't allowing the public in still.
Oh, so that must.
It was
have
still
been
just
like
an
4 years
industry
ago.
thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Naughty America had a booth.
Yeah.
And it was awkward as fuck.
Oh, I'm sure.
The line was like super long and no one was talking to each other.
God,
no eye contact.
Yeah, no
just
eye
everyone
contact.
looking at the floor.
Oh god. Or at their phones, man.
Yeah. And when you took the helmet off, you were like, don't like
don't say
whenever
anything
anybody
positive.
got out of the whenever everybody got out of the booth, my instinct is, if it was a man who did it, my instinct was to directly look and see if he got a boner. And I was trying not to do that.
Jesus.
So I was like,
I can imagine you take the headset
I wonder
off.
how good that is. And then you give a little no, stop that.
Good Lord. You got to go to the next, is it the Avians? What's the big porn conference in Vegas that was in?
Well, the AVN Awards.
Yeah, but that's not a conference.
It's the big
right?
award ceremony.
Yeah.
But they have, I think there's definitely a gathering there. They'll have booths and stuff during the AVN Awards, I believe.
Yeah. You just got to go to the big porn conference. I'm sure they have some VR stuff there. That should be your next trip. I'm sure it's unlike any con experience you've ever been to.
Frames, interviewer.
Yes.
And an on-site reporter.
Mm-hmm.
For all that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It'd be good.
Somebody said Joe is asking those porn questions for a friend. Oh no, it's for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no shame in that.
Yeah, I love porn. It's like the ultimate good vibes. Come on, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Here's some not good vibes related to VR. Did you guys see Facebook bought the Beat Saber devs yesterday? Kind of.
Yeah. What do you think that means?
I have no idea. I hope it means that the mods don't get fucked. I want the mods. Like the whole reason that game has life to it is that the mods are able to exist and you can get a shit ton of songs. Yeah, I don't know.
Hold on, say that again. I think I missed it.
Facebook bought the Beat Saber devs.
Facebook bought Beat Saber.
Yeah, which immediately thinks exclusivity for Oculus for anything that they make in the future.
And I was going to say it's important to mention that Facebook also bought Oculus like a while ago.
Yeah,
so they're slowly like snowballing VR content under their umbrella.
Yeah. I also want someone brings up a good point. Like I think it means Facebook saw Half-Life and decided to spend some money. And like in terms of success in VR, like Beat Saber is probably the killer app for it right now. So if they develop something new and it becomes Oculus exclusive, yeah, I could see them trying to like become. I could see the VR industry starting to become a land grab for different content and stuff like that moving forward. So, but all that means for like to get what's Asgard's Wrath, which is an Oculus exclusive, working on the Index that I bought, which is a Steam headset. It literally took a download and 2 clicks to install it, and I could play any game I wanted. So it was not difficult to do that. Now, who's to say that Facebook's not going to make that more difficult in the future? I don't know. But it's called Revive, and it's a really simple program to get working for that stuff. But it also means that, you know, if it does become a huge land grab in the VR world, they might try and put in some more roadblocks for that program to work. So who knows? But yeah.
By the way, actually, before we move on,
sure.
Are we kind of done with the VR stuff?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. There's nothing really to add to it.
Kind of a small segue here. I saw a few people ask this in chat. While we're talking about this comment on the Disguised Toast move to Facebook.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I speak for these guys, but I think it's pretty much the exact same as anytime anyone moves to a platform where it's just like, good luck for him. Hopefully he made a whole bunch of money and he's set, and we wish him the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only difference.
Those ask me who it is. He's a big card player. So he's a big Hearthstone streamer. His name is Disguised Toast, and he was picked up by Facebook last week, I think.
Yeah.
To his credit, and maybe one of the reasons he got picked up by Facebook, he was also pretty cool where he was like donating a lot of his income to charities. And when he did his release video, instead of making a video, he actually just walked the $20K check to a charity and gave it to them as his video, which I think is kind of, I mean, that's part of the whole spiel. But at the same time, it's cool. Like, you got to give credit where it's due. Know what it is, but give credit where it's due.
There was a comment from Mathel, who we've had on before. He's a PoE streamer, if you're not aware, and he said something like, "Yeah, you gave that money to charity, but it was still $20,000 spent on like an announcement video because you still recorded it and made a video out." It was like, fuck, he's not wrong. But then someone's like, yeah, but it still went to charity. Right. I was like, fuck, he's not wrong either because it still went to charity. But yeah.
It reminds me of those old like, I can't remember if it was like a truth, like one of those truth ads, like anti-smoking ads or something like that.
Yeah.
Where like Philip Morris donated like $100,000 to a charity and then spent $10 million advertising about that donation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's similar. The thing. Like there's lots of different ways to contribute to charity. And the more you publicize it, the more the charity is kind of for that reason. And by the way, for the record, like if that's how they want to use their charity, that's cool. They're still giving a charity. Like, sure. Just like I said earlier, just as long as you kind of make sure you know what you're looking at, you know, it's all good. Like charity wins.
It's not the biggest deal at the end of the day. One thing that is interesting about that contract, or that announcement or whatever of him going to Facebook, I'm not sure. Maybe you guys are. Maybe Chad can fill us in. My understanding with Facebook contracts is they're not exclusive. Like he can still stream on any platform. From what I've understood. Do you guys know if that's true or not? Did I read completely fake news?
That sounds absolutely insane.
That's what it sounded insane to me when I heard it. That's why I'm trying to like make sure.
The only Facebook streamers that I know before Disguised Toast have basically become Facebook employees, essentially. So like Like they basically they just promote Facebook all the time. They're constantly on Twitter talking about how amazing streaming on it is. I've never seen them stream on Twitch again. So I would be very, very surprised if they were able to stream on other platforms.
Okay. A lot of people saying it's content based. Like your main thing, if you want to stream Hearthstone, you have to do it on Facebook. But if you want to do something else streaming, you can do it on other platforms or whatever.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, that's all hearsay, but that's what I'm getting like from a few people in the chat and stuff.
Yeah, and it might be one of those things where we just never know. But that would be
maybe it's you know what I'm like. Doesn't he live with other Twitch streamers?
Well, he lives in like the offline TV house. Yeah.
Maybe it's the kind of thing where they're saying you can still be on their streams. Like you, it's not that you can't be on Twitch at all, or you can't be on Mixer at all. You just can't stream yourself on it. Maybe that's where the exclusivity comes in.
Okay.
But I mean, you don't like the Mixer pickups, the YouTube pickups, the Twitch pickups, the Facebook pickups. They're in many ways just hiring those people to work.
Yeah.
So it seems pretty wild for them not to like mandate basically 90% of what they're doing to be promoting this service.
Yeah.
Fair point, Chad. I should have been more clear. I should have said this is conjecture, like at the start. Like this is something that is rumored rather than just saying it and then tagging it with like, it's
we're not journalists. That's fine. We're idiots on a stream. We're not journalists.
No, but it's fair though. We have a big enough audience that I should be aware that to make that clear at
we have the spoiler tag with the skeleton.
Yeah.
We need like a little box in the top left. Anytime we talk about stuff like this, it's like, warning, the three people on the screen are not experts at anything. They don't know what they're talking about. Please don't take anything they're saying seriously, and everything they're saying has a big chance to be wrong.
Yeah.
It just stays on the screen in the top
we
left.
We got to get exactly what you just said, but we'll speed it up by like ×5 like they do on the radio.
The Micro Machine guy.
Yes, yeah. And then that'll play whenever we go into news. We'll just play that right before and then right after the news.
And the whole thing is like
exactly. This is for entertainment only. Yeah, exactly. We'll get some lawyers on it. We'll get a proper thing, and then we're just completely
I like that.
safe.
This is for entertainment only, not informative, not truthful, just entertainment.
Yeah.
If you're not entertained, then we're welcome to drop frames.
Welcome to drop frames. Yeah, exactly. We'll do something. Maybe I'll make that happen. I think to echo what Co said at the start, I'm sure Zeke will have his thoughts, if not echo what I'm saying. It's the type of thing where, hey, content creator won again, right? Like, congrats to him. It's great. That's awesome.
By the way, did you know that Death Stranding is going to be free tomorrow? Completely, absolutely free on Thanksgiving for entertainment purposes only.
Okay. All right. So now we can just lie completely and then have fun.
I don't think that's how that works.
That's not how it works. What?
No. That's what, if you're going home and you haven't seen your parents and your family in a while, don't go home to talk politics. No one wants to do that. Just put on Death Stranding and watch and play as a family. It's a great holiday time. It's going to be perfect. Just carry that BB. Go burn a body at the beginning of the game. It's fantastic Thanksgiving conversation. Jesus. Zeke, any thoughts on the Facebook acquisition of Disguised Toast? Or you just kind of echo what me and Co have been saying?
You could just stop with Zeke, any thoughts on, and then just forget it and move on to the next thing.
Okay. All right.
The Facebook, it's I love it. I absolutely love it. I love seeing people in our line of work just becoming like professional sports stars have been for years.
Yeah.
Like free agents and, like that kind of stuff, and just being paid to do what they do and, making just gajillions of dollars while it's fucking hot. It's great.
Yeah. Now's the time for sure. We'll kind of keep going through the news stuff. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is the fastest selling digital launch for any Star Wars game ever. Which people have basically taken that news and then taken EA's statement from a while back, which was like single player games don't sell, I think was what EA said a long time ago. And now they're kind of eating their words because they put out a single player game and it sold. pretty well, apparently.
After 2 Battlefront.
Yeah, that arguably still sold very well, I'm sure. But we're a fucking nightmare of PR fiasco after PR fiasco after PR fiasco. So, yeah. That was kind of some interesting news. What else is out there? Oh yeah, Stadia came out. We didn't talk about that last week. Did you get your Founders Edition, Co? Is it still in the box? Nice. You could probably leave it there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I took it out and played, and it was not. Yeah.
The whole point of me getting the Founders Edition was I was hoping to get it like the day of or before, so I could like show the community how it is before before they made a decision themselves.
Yeah.
Well, then my Founder Edition got here like 4 days late. And it's just kind of like, oh, well, I guess I'm not so much of a founder. And now that all the reviews and stuff are out saying it's terrible, well, there goes that idea.
Yeah. I got it the day that like the embargo broke. So I got it and installed it, I guess. It's not really a big installation process, but yeah, like it works, but again, I have a gigabit line, so saying it works because the line is a gigabit is kind of like saying, hey, I have $1 million. That Toyota Camry wasn't that expensive. Like, it's really ridiculous. I have the perfect scenario for it, so of course it's gonna work.
It didn't lag for you at all, because that's what I heard across the board.
Not when I was using like an Ethernet line. The second that I went to wireless, it was a colossal clusterfuck. And that was using it on our TV in the bedroom, which is on wireless, which is about 25 feet from where the router is. And it was definitely like a second or so when I was playing Destiny of like, hold down trigger, wait a second, then it would shoot. And that, to be fair, the wireless is pretty poor in my house, and it's not the best possible conditions. That being said, I think that product still has a long way to go before it's actually something that I can recommend. And I've had a bunch of people come by the chat like, well, who is that product for? I don't know. Like,
good question.
The only people I can think of, and to echo what a lot of other people have said this when it comes to viewers and other critics and everything, it's a good use would be for people that travel a lot. And so if they go into a hotel, you can play something on the TV, but then again, you're playing with hotel internet, and that's fucking almost as bad as normal internet, if not 1,000 times worse sometimes.
Well, no. If you can afford the like, if you're traveling a lot and all that kind of stuff, don't you usually like?
Sometimes it depends on the hotel. It really does. Like,
dude, a lot of times, as somebody who used to stream from hotel rooms frequently, even the best service is generally not very good.
Yeah.
And that's like the best you can buy in most cases. Most of the time, they just don't have good options. And even the best option is something that 50 other people are using in the hotel room. So or the hotel, hopefully not the hotel room.
And you were asking before who is this for?
Yeah, like who uses
and the fucking first thing that came to my mind was the same people who are going to buy the Tesla truck or whatever the fuck it's called.
I see what you're saying, but I feel like no, because if you're going to buy a Tesla truck, you already have money. You could just afford an actual console or an actual PC. I see what you're saying, though.
No, because you have a Google Fiber. You have to have like the best like internet connection and stuff. It's a rich person's game, yeah.
Google Stadia is $100. Well, the Founders Edition was 120. You have to have a Chromecast and you get the controller. And then that was 120, 130. It was not expensive whatsoever. But it doesn't really like work.
For entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. Quick, play the disclaimer. Yeah. I'm trying to find some of the footage. So the issues that I did have, I played it on a PC monitor to start with. And it was running in Chrome, it runs at 720p. No matter what I could do. And
there's also a lot of frustration over the fact that they basically promise like 4K 60, and like even on the highest best settings, like a lot of things just upscale from 1080.
Yeah.
And in some cases, So
yeah,
I don't know, man.
Yeah. This is by the way, this is Destiny 2 played on a Chrome PC, and there was very little latency, if any, that it was noticeable whatsoever. But it looks like shit because it's 720p. It's 720p 60, but it's 720p.
Wow, look at that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
But like, yeah, it's pretty 1-to-1. The other thing it sucks, at this point in time, if you're gonna play on a PC, the controller has to be connected via USB-C. You cannot play it wirelessly. At this point, I think down the line they want that to actually work. But yeah, that is how that is. And then eventually I did this is the fighting game, and that felt like all right.
Oh man, I saw some people trying to do the fighting game on, I think, wireless or something, but like it was bad. Like they couldn't even get the guys to do like a normal super move because it was lagging so hard.
I think right here I had I don't know when I start swapping, but I opened up normal Destiny at like 1440p with everything on high, and then played. I'm trying to set up the exact shot, so I was just all tabbing back and forth here. You can definitely tell which one is like the PC client and which one's the Stadia client. But it's also cool because it just runs in a browser. And that was kind of crazy to see. Like if the tech actually starts to work 6 months down the line, it ran in a fucking browser. Like it ran in a Chrome browser. It's kind of crazy for me to wrap my head around.
So wait, have you guys heard anything about this? Someone in my chat said, I heard Google is now blaming the game devs for the troubles.
Really? I have not.
I have not heard that. That's what I'm asking. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I know
they are.
I know they definitely got out there. Yeah. So here's the statement that actually references that. The full statement by Google is, we give developers the freedom of how to achieve the best image quality and frame rate on Stadia, and we are impressed with what they have been able to achieve for day one. We expect that many developers can, and in most cases will, continue to improve their games on Stadia. And because Stadia lives on in our data centers, developers are able to innovate quickly while delivering even better experiences, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, not that much. That's the other benefit that they're kind of claiming, and it is a benefit in the sense there's no patching. Like the game is, you don't have to download an update ever for this stuff. It just is always patched, which is cool. Is it enough to warrant like always being your way to play this stuff? No. But it's definitely a thing that's like, hey, that's cool. I don't have to ever patch. And then the other thing that it was interesting that a lot of people commented on is if you set your like streaming quality, which is the only setting that you get on any of this. There's 3 settings. You can have best, good, and poor or something like that. But on best,
it doesn't even give you numbers?
No. Well, on best, it says, if you are using this, you can expect to have 20 gigabytes an hour, which
I find it hard to believe that there's a poor setting on there.
Well, it's because
Are you sure it's labeled poor?
I don't
not
know
just like low.
It might just be low, but it's because 20 gigabytes an hour. If you have data caps, that's gonna burn in like 5 hours.
Best, normal, financially insufficient. Those are the 3.
It might. Yeah. I wonder if it is poor. I wonder what those settings are. Let's see. Because now I'm curious.
Best, good, and this is shit. Shit tier, bad. This is trash fire.
Best, good. I should have bought a PS4.
Fuck. I don't see it. It's upstairs too, so I can't turn it on. I'm curious what those are now. But the biggest thing is there is 20 gigabytes an hour. If you have a data cap, like you're fucked. You cannot actually use that program. There's no way in hell that you could use that. You'll burn through that in a single game, let alone a game like Destiny, which is, a quote, live service. There's endless amounts of hours there. You can't actually play any of that. So yeah, definitely a rough launch for that.
Best balance and limited is what it is.
Best balance and limited. Okay.
Best balance and limited.
I guess that's how you express.
Thank you, Scared Senseless. Okay.
Yeah. That's a better way to do it for sure.
Sounds a little bit better. Doesn't sting quite as much.
Yeah. Shitty. You want to play on the shitty setting? We've got you. Yeah. Don't worry.
You play shitty Stadia? You like shitty Stadia?
Jesus Christ.
Play shitty game.
In terms of the actual controller, if people are wondering if the controller feels good, it feels like a normal controller. The D-pad on it sucks, but D-pads in general, I think on most controllers are pretty bad.
No.
I mean, it feels cheap to me compared to like an Elite, but that's comparing a $50 controller to like a $200 controller.
That's actually a good question. Like a good arbitrary, like meaningless gamer question. What controller out there has the best D-pad?
Probably a DualShock.
I
think DualShock's pretty good.
I really like the DualShock. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I think the Elite.
I just got this like 2 days ago.
Good. Is that the Series 2?
Yeah, I got delivered.
Yeah.
The other day.
Series 2 is really good, man.
I can't wait to break it. I can't wait for this expensive controller to be fucking worthless in a few days.
My concern with that is not necessarily it breaking, but whatever you're throwing at breaking first, because that thing's hefty, man. It has a pretty good weight to it. So if you throw it at a wall, it's going through the wall.
I love the Xbox controller. I've always liked the Xbox controller better than the PlayStation controller because I like have like fat meat fingers and it's bigger and it's heavier weight. Like the DualShock, I feel like it's like the noisy cricket from fucking Men in Black. Like I'm gonna break this damn thing.
Yeah, it's a good controller, but yeah, just don't break it. That's $200 controller. That's expensive.
I still need to open mine.
Yeah,
at some point
there hasn't really been a game that's been like an Xbox. I guess Fallen Order. Did you use a controller for that? Or did you use mouse and keyboard? Yeah.
I use a controller. I actually use my controller pretty frequently. I'm still using the Razer Wildcat. But the thing is on or the Razer Wolverine. The thing though is one thing that I hate about this controller is like that's the D-pad, right? But the problem is unlike the DualShock controller, it's not one piece of plastic. It's 4 individual buttons. So what's really nice about the DualShock that I didn't really realize until I used this is because it's one piece of plastic. If you rock your finger, like for a normal like fireball or something,
yeah,
because it's one piece, it's kind of angled down and you can just slide right over it. But when you have 4 individual buttons and you try to do that, the second your thumb hits that other button, it's like a little wall.
Yeah.
So it becomes super annoying. I can't use the D-pad on this controller. I just can't. Like that's terrible.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I guess. Yeah, the Elite seems like you can probably do a fireball pretty well there on the D-pad at least. And the DualShock, like you said, it works fine. But
by the way, I'm not lagging, but I am like hitching today.
Yeah, Max was having that problem yesterday as well. I'm not sure. I don't know if I don't think it's necessarily you. I think it's more the connection between the two of us. We got to get the chiral network updated. We'll get the USB keys in here and we'll get it working.
You got one of those little necklace thingies?
I don't, but I know a guy. Yeah, I'll call my buddy Reedus.
You got a guy for that.
Yeah, everyone's got a chiral network guy.
He's blocking his ass over. It'll be like
he's still trekking it from California. He's got a ways to go. I'll make sure I give him a bad rating, but yeah, he'll be here soon. And then that's kind of the news. I don't know if there's any trailers because we got some time. We haven't really played that. I'm curious. Apart from Divinity 2, we both played Divinity 2. Zeke, did you do an Indie Sunday this week to just wrap my head around how much time we got? Yeah, so we don't have that much.
I played some Dungeons and Dragons like a real nerd.
Okay, all right. Well, let's keep killing time then. Go ahead, Co.
Super quick before we leave. Just got pinged by Barry about this. Talking about controllers, Steam slashed the price of their controller by 90% today. And Kotaku is apparently reporting that they're not making anymore.
So they're doing what they did with the Steam Links. Remember when Steam Links were on sale? Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, that controller is a little ball of ass. I bought that controller. It is terrible. Like you want to talk about?
Yeah, they were on sale I bought one for $5.
Oh
right?
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's worth 90% off. To be honest, like it's bad. It's bad.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
I tried to use it and I used it for about 5 minutes and was just like, no, thank you.
Jeez.
Nope.
Rough.
And of course, I look over in chat and someone's like, I use Steam Controller and it's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, that's helpful.
I am personally glad that you enjoy it. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's a good way to answer that. Yeah. Hey, here's a hot off the press. 4 minutes ago, guys, remember that game Budget Cuts for the VR? Remember that like demo they put out a long time ago when VR first started being a thing? They put out a trailer for Budget Cuts 2 on the Oculus Rift program. I'm going to watch this trailer because we ain't got shit to do today. So here we go. Let's see if this is any good.
Well, hello there, dear viewers, and welcome to the Transcore Daily News. Supervisors
Oh,
are
God, it
reporting
sounded
that
too
the
much like
incident
Claptrap. I
yesterday
almost
at
wanted to
Transport
shut it off.
Boxes is getting closer to a resolution.
Oh, I can't do this today. I saw it. The ex-employee. It was looking right at me. Red glaring eyes, a mad grin stretched across its puffy human face. Portals opening and closing, knives and arrows flying everywhere. Sending more prosecutors, more hornets, more supervisors, more of everything. This has to end.
Oh, I see. You're an idiot.
Work, take a tackle.
Okay, looks like more budget cuts. I don't know if you guys ever played the first one. I think you might have.
Never even heard of the first one.
Really?
I don't think I played it.
Huh? That was like Jesus Christ! I gotta turn on play off. It scares me every time. Fucking Angry Joe, just out there excited. Woo! Yeah, the first one was like a free demo that was pretty good for that. So another Oculus Rift exclusive, it looks like. Any game trailers that you guys have seen that have perked your interest the past month? It's been a while since we've watched game trailers here. I'm trying to find if there's anything good.
I actually asked my chat.
Yeah?
I said, if you guys got any game trailers that we should check out, put them in my chat. And the only one came up.
Yeah.
And it was my mod Scott linking me YouTube video fart noises.
Nice. Nice. You
Very
should have
nice.
just linked it
Yeah.
to me.
These are the people who I choose to,
employ,
protect my channel and forward my brand and stuff. They're just super helpful.
We got a Subnautica Below Zero deep dive.
Nautica Below Zero. There's a MechWarrior 5 trailer as well
let's-
that came out pretty recently.
This, I guess I'll say spoiler warning. If you don't want some spoilers, I'm sure, for Subnautica, don't watch this. But we'll check this out. I have not played this at all. I think Ko's played a little bit of it.
I played the very first iteration, like the day that it came early access onto Steam. There really wasn't much of it yet, and I'm kind of waiting until the full release that happens again. By the way, that trailer, does it mention the date in which it's fully releasing?
I don't know. Let's see. Let's watch it. Let me unmute.
The meteor storm. I repeat, immediate evacuation to Space Station Vespa.
Oh no.
That looks more action.
Your environment is no longer safe.
Robin, come in.
Sam, I copy. I'm okay.
We'll have you back on the Vespa in no time. Stay safe.
Warning. Detecting a Leviathan-class life form nearby.
Name's Marguerite Maida. Now,
Oh,
you
wow.
owe me.
Whoa!
So there's NPCs and shit. Okay. Huh.
Cool.
Hello?
Oh, there's a little bit more.
Human, turn back.
Oh, okay. A little tie into the first game.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Looks cool.
Hell yeah.
When you played that code, did it have the same, what's the word I want to use? Scale as the first one? In the sense of
No,
like,
not at all.
It wasn't, it was completely different? Because it didn't look like it from
Well,
the trailer.
I think it's a little bit more semi-open world instead of Subnautica's open world. Like Subnautica was really cool because it basically like put you almost in the middle of the map, and then you could kind of go anywhere you wanted to go. But if for Below Zero, you actually start on the land, and there's a tutorial thing you go through, and then there's like corridors you follow to the first semi-open world area. And that area, when I played, was not very big, but I'm pretty sure it either opens up or goes to more locations.
Okay.
Again, I played in like the very first version that released, and there wasn't a lot in it outside of like the initial tutorial stuff. So someone else may be able to answer it better.
Gotcha.
Oh, people are saying it's really big now and it opens up later a lot. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Great.
Cool.
Great. So I didn't notice any type of date there. Chad, have we heard anything about a date for this one?
Someone in
I
my
heard
chat.
what's kind of weird is I heard they're doing something a little strange with it where they're delivering a patch that puts in all the content. So like there's a content ready patch, and then there's going to be a release later that's like the polished version of that.
Oh, they kind of did something similar with the first one, did they not? Or I keep saying the first one. This is not Subnautica 2, but someone in my chat said they're planning to release by March, but I don't know if that's what you just said, the patch, or if that's full release or what. I don't know.
By March. Well, the last serve was January, so maybe the content thing's in January and the release is March.
Okay. All right. Run the disclaimer. Someone just whoever's editing this, put that in there. We don't know what we're talking about. Here's a Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries walkthrough. I don't know what that actually means. So this might be a little bit more than what we're expecting. It's 4-minute long trailer, so we'll see how this goes.
Dude, I was such a dingus. I bought this really nice X-52 Warthog system for Mech Warrior.
Yeah.
And then I was hanging out in a few streams because there was a beta. Those who don't know, there was actually people playing this game over the weekend on Twitch.
Yeah.
You can actually watch people playing it if you want to check it out. And I heard like multiple people I watched be like, oh yeah, joysticks don't really work for this very well. You're definitely going to want to use a mouse and keyboard. And I was just like,
fuck.
Jumped into the middle of the action.
Yeah.
There's our objective. Luckily, we don't need to waste any ammo in order to destroy it.
Looks really
this
good.
looks really cool. I'm super excited. What's also kind of fun is not only is this like a big part of the game, but there's also very similar to the BattleTech XCOM style game. There's like a whole merc management thing. You have a base that you can upgrade. There's like wings that you have to you get salvage every mission and you build new mechs and you can play with your friends. It looks really cool, man. I'm very excited for this one.
Bigger, more powerful.
There's some of the salvage stuff.
From your Leopard dropship, you'll spend time rigging up your mechs, taking on missions, and traveling to other systems. The Shadowhawk won't be adequate for our next mission, but we now have other options. Our last outing was a success, so let's spend some time with our new Atlas and see how we can improve it. Fortunately, we salvaged
this kind of stuff is my bread and butter, man.
Weapon from a downed enemy
this was
on our
in
last contract, which we can now equip.
I remember the similar menu.
Well, this has kind of been classic Mech Warrior style stuff since like the early Mech Warriors.
Gotcha.
It's just kind of an advanced.
Let's make it stand out. We can apply a custom paint job by modifying the primary, secondary, and tertiary colors any way we want. But today,
are you watching Star Wars Jedi stuff? Look at all the colors.
Let's go see Rihanna to see if she's got a new contract.
Rihanna's in the game. Wow, they've got a huge budget.
The star map is where you'll have access to the numerous missions in Mech Warrior 5.
Holy shit.
The areas outlined in red are conflict zones, where the factions wage war. It is here that the most lucrative and dangerous contracts can be found.
So is each one of those a mission?
Identify industrial
Can be.
hubs.
Well, if it's like BattleTech, then it's more of a planet, and you can go to the planet. It has like a bounty board with available missions.
Gotcha.
Most of this stuff is probably randomized. If it's like BattleTech, it's like a main story arc that has unique stuff that goes through it.
Yeah.
Our mission objective
is there co-op in this?
An enemy aerodrome.
Yeah.
Then raise
you should totally play, man.
Huh.
I'm going to be playing this game pretty extensively. It comes out on December 10th.
5, you'll fight helicopters and tanks. But the real threat are other mechs.
Is this in VR? No. From what I understand, there's no VR.
A diverse arsenal at your disposal, including missiles.
Be a good game for VR, to be honest.
You might have already mentioned this, and I'm sure you did, but is it PvP? Is there a PvP element?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm really not sure. I know you can play with your friends in missions, but I'm not sure if there's PvP.
Man, I want to see like robot jocks, like style shit, like arena comeback. Like
I think they had that for Mech Warrior recently.
Now that's
do they? Okay.
We can head toward the fortress.
I'm saying I'll play it, but I'd watch it.
Yeah. Mech Warrior Online is for PvP, Zeke.
Okay.
Also, be kind of careful with that.
Features huge destructible environments. Use it to your advantage. Clear dense areas to get a line
of
sight,
no PvP in Mech
and
Warrior.
outmaneuver your enemies. and blast your path through the battlefield.
I love the destructible buildings, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be cool.
That guy's just an asshole, though. He's just shooting the buildings.
You'll experience in MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries.
Huh. All right. That doesn't look that bad. Play December 10th. Oh, is it an Epic Game Store exclusive?
It is. It's kind of a double whammy because they announced the Epic stuff and then, like, just a short amount of time later, announced a delay. Someone was like, "Oh, great!"
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Yeah. All right, Zeke sent me a Persona 5. What is Persona 5 Scramble?
I asked that same question, and Persona 5 Scramble, it says, is a
rhythm game.
No. It's a action-based spin-off / sequel of Persona 5.
Action-based. What was that?
Spin-off or sequel of Persona 5.
Okay.
So it's like a spin-off or a sequel to it or something.
Okay. All right.
So this is the first time hearing of it too. So like I'm just reading from the fucking blurb on the internet.
Yeah, let's check it out.
当該事件は半年前まで世間を騒がせていた事件。心の怪盗団による改心事件の疑いがあると。
I did not re-watch this, so sorry.
Well, it's
My
fine. We
bad.
can just talk. Zeke, you speak Japanese. Translate for us.
It's been so long. Hey, nice mask. Man, it might be worth it just to buy it if they have all new music.
This sounds like a little bit of a remix, though, not new, right?
Now you're gonna look at these space cops here. They're putting everybody in jail. And no one really likes that at all.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Copy Dad!
Mocha chill.
This doesn't look that bad.
容疑者は怪盗団のリーダー。改めてこの男を徹底的に調べる。
in a bikini and then the cop. Immediately. Oh man, that's fucking hilarious.
So is this like Kingdom Hearts?
It's like a Dynasty Warrior game from this bit.
Oh.
Wow. Dude, I'm already in, man. Fucking, it looks great.
You can play as the bus.
Well, I think it's like a super move. Oh, it is the same company that does Dynasty Warriors? Wait, Tecmo? Oh, there you go. February 20th.
All right. Now, what kind of gameplay is Dynasty Warriors?
Button masher?
I don't think I've ever played
one character versus many others. It's like it's almost like a third-person-y kind of Diablo-y game where it's just like you usually take out hordes of enemies at a time. Very actiony, you know, kind of
beat 'em
stuff
up?
like that. Yeah, hack and slashy a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess a beat 'em up is a way to. Yeah, it's like a 3D beat 'em up where you're. Yeah.
Oh, EDF. Okay, Earth Defense Force. Okay,
A little bit,
I got you now.
A little bit like.
I got you now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So not like
No.
super.
What was that?
I was gonna say super brainy gameplay then.
No, not at all.
No.
Okay.
What were you gonna say, Cope?
Yeah, somebody said it doesn't play like Diablo. No, I only meant Diablo is in the terms of like you're fighting hordes of enemies at the same time. No, it is not. You don't. It's not. It plays nothing like Diablo. No. Very different.
Gotcha. Yeah, that just
I'm glad
sparked.
we watched that. I'm fully in.
Yeah, that sparked the fire inside me to remind me that I never finished Persona 5. I got to Matthew Mercer's shitty portion of the game.
Okay,
And he stopped right there, man. It was a hurdle. It was a hurdle for me.
I stopped there because Atlas was like, "Look, we might ban you. We're probably not gonna."
Oh, that's right. That whole kerfuffle. I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, you might be able to. You might be playing. I remember
and then people flagrantly ignored what Atlas said, and absolutely nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
It was total saber rattling. It wasn't like
100%.
like empty threats.
It's so stupid. I'm still upset.
Completely vacuous threats.
I don't want to play that game anymore. You guys talked me out of it.
Just get the soundtrack and listen to that. You pretty much play the game then.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm not going to tell you what this game is. I'm curious to see what. I'm going to let you guys judge it without any preconceived knowledge. So here we go. It's a game called Plan 8.
Wait, the prequel to Plan 9 from outer space? Like the worst movie ever?
You have seen this?
Yes.
No, not at all, Z.
I figured. I was kidding.
Fun fact, that's what they did with all the Anthem mechs after that game failed.
They sold them off? Yeah.
They did. They parted them out.
Yeah.
Well, part of it looked like a Mad Max Jet Set Radio mix.
A little bit.
Oh, they got all my favorites. Dr. Octopus. They got the Green Arrow. They got Terminator.
And it's by the makers of BDO.
Yeah, Zeke, you ready for the buzzkill? Here's the buzzkill, Zeke.
Not again.
It's an MMO from the creators of Black Desert Online. I don't know what that actually means. Like after,
Well, you can't be mad at Black Desert Online because it's mostly like you can get into it for free, right?
Sure, it's not necessarily that I'm mad at it. It's just like after I didn't know that was the case until after I watched that trailer, and then when I heard that, it's like, well, what did I just actually see? Then I don't know if that's an MMO.
Here's the thing.
How does that?
Here's the thing. If they do that right, it could be really, really fun.
Sure.
Because to this day, I stand by. There's this old ass game. It was the first game I ever streamed on Twitch. It was called Defiance. And it was a run and gun, relatively deep, lots of unique builds, tons of different weapons. Like it was a really fun game. I had a great time in that. And I've honestly been waiting for another game like Defiance since Defiance. So I kind of there was a game even before then called Tabula Rasa. From like the old folks will remember.
Richard Garriott.
And yeah, man. So the thing is if they do it right, then it could be really fun and interesting. But if they do it like Division, then I don't know, at least for other people, but for me, that'll be a huge deal breaker. If it's the kind of thing where you just like get a cover and then shoot and kill everything in the room before being forced to move from cover, and then go to the next thing and get another piece of cover, like if it just becomes that, then I'm not going to touch it. But if it's the kind of thing where there's lots of, like that dude that ran on the wall, like if that's going to be the gameplay, like running around in mech suits and like doing melee moves and deflecting bullets with car doors, and then, like that could be really fun. That could be very fun.
Yeah. That's the type of trailer where I felt like I watched it. I understand the world, but I have no idea what the gameplay looks like. Kind of like exactly what you just said. I want to see the second gameplay with a HUD to see what that actually looks like. Yeah.
Yep. Also, I really want to know, like, how many different weapons are there going to be? Is it going to be melee and range or just range? Is it going to be like a wide variety with upgrade pass, or like you get a few guns with arbitrary numbers on them and then you get those arbitrary numbers up? It's going to completely depend on how they go about it.
Yeah. Yeah. If they handle it how they do BDO, that's a little bit worrisome, I guess. Maybe not.
I never played BDO.
Well, the combat in BDO, like once you start getting the hang of it, is pretty well done. I enjoyed it. It was satisfying.
Yeah, I think
but
people's biggest
yeah,
complaint
there are definitely like big complaints about it being like pay to win or something like that.
Yeah. The biggest complaint is the combat is great in BDO. I hear that constantly, but it's the way that you progress towards the end of that game that becomes an interesting decision to say the least. It may be fueled by business choices. So
may or may not be a money farm.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Who's to say? Who could actually comment on that? I don't know. We're all, this is just entertainment here. We have no actual...
I'm having a lot of people say we should check out something called Crimson Desert.
Yeah, so that's also from the same dev, actually.
I've never even heard of that one.
Let's see.
And I am lagging hard. Holy shit.
It's just a little bit...
Let me try to refresh real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. It won't change. I'll wait to throw this. But Max is doing the same thing yesterday, so I guess we'll see. I like that that's the face he left with. There he goes. He's back. It might fix. It might not. Here's Crimson Desert, the official reveal trailer.
I haven't froze yet.
Might work.
It's gonna be jiggling over here if you need me.
Okay.
Damn.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. Oh, another Pearl Abyss game.
Yeah, same devs.
Okay.
We just saw.
I can imagine we just thought.
This is a single player game.
Only those who live through the
hunger, entertainment show,
and dangers of the wilderness may find a home in these lands. Call it.
Oh no, it's definitely an MMO.
Okay. It's a prequel to BDO, though. I know that much.
I was gonna say, like, we see that awesome action scene at the beginning, and then it cuts to your first gameplay, and it's like one dude standing in front of another going, "Ha!
Up north,
ha!
we have our own way of doing things.
Maybe he's to blame. Maybe he ain't.
Oh, okay. It's not single player. It's an MMO with a single player story campaign.
To death for all I care.
Tortor?
I guess. I don't know.
Don't most MMOs have a single player story campaign?
Some,
whether it's good, bad, or in between.
Yeah.
Whether man or beast, only the strong will survive.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, you see that?
Who cares if we die?
I am getting some pretty strong Game of Thrones vibes from this.
How'd the Lowlanders take over an empire?
Oh.
Look at us. Beaten, shamed, and hunted.
Macduff! Eli!
You hear a word I said? You nearly died out there.
Macduff, you.
An actual Scottish accent in an MMO? Not like a dwarven Scottish?
He really does look like Jon Snow. Game looks good. You can't deny that.
Wait, a game I would called Bleed.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, that does seem like a lot of story for an MMO.
Yeah, it's weird seeing a prequel to a game like BDO. I don't know. Pearl Abyss must be doing well if they're out there pushing two brand new games.
Right? I guess BDO got them some cash.
Yeah, I guess that worked out. I guess people are spending the money there. Well, I don't know if there's any other trailers. Have you guys been? Has your chat provided you with anything?
You know about Darksiders Genesis, guys? Yeah.
Yeah.
Total Warhammer DLC. I mean, that's gonna be. We already watched the Half-Life one.
Yeah, we watched that start. We could look at some Final Fantasy VII screenshots if you guys want.
Nice. The Stardew Valley 1.5 4 patch apparently had its own trailer. Am I reading that
really?
right?
Okay, let's see.
Well, the Stardew Valley thing was a huge deal, wasn't it?
It was a big update,
people,
yeah.
A fan of those games because it was something about it spanned across all of the platforms it's on or something.
Maybe.
Was that why it's a big deal?
I'm not sure. I did see that it was a big update. I have no idea what's in it though. I'm trying to find the trailer for it. What was
Also,
your about? Go.
It's a little bit longer, but there's a Phoenix Point. There's a couple Phoenix Point videos out that talk about the mechanics in the game.
Really?
And I was actually watching them last night. They may be a little bit too long for drop frames, but dude, they are bringing back like original XCOM world map stuff for Phoenix Point.
Really?
So like you actually have a map when all around you are question marks and you have to fly to them and like scan them. And some will be missions or factions or like, and you can put like satellites around them to find more points. Like it looks awesome.
The only thing I've seen from Phoenix Point was like their, I guess you would call it their story trailer. And it looked like super generic where they were talking about the 3 factions. And it was just kind of like still images. So I might have to check out the actual gameplay videos of that.
Recommend it.
Here's the Stardew Valley multiplayer update for 1.4. I don't know what's in this, but it's from the official video from Concerned Ape, the sole developer of this game. Is this the old one? Hold on. Everyone calm down. This is the wrong video, I think. Yep, that's the wrong video. Where's the fucking new video? What are you doing, Concerned Ape? He doesn't have a new video.
Oh. Okay, I could have sworn people were telling me about that. Maybe not.
Well, we could watch it.
Oh yeah, we've already talked all about PoE 2, guys. Also, good time to mention to you dudes, although I don't know if I'm going to be there, but JP is doing a big PoE only show.
Yeah.
So if you want Path of Exile stuff.
I guess we could talk about that a little bit now before we take the break, because we do have games to talk about when we come back. But yeah, so next Wednesday, right now the plan, it's still fluid, as they say. But we're going to be doing 2 Drop Frames episodes back to back. So we'll do normal Drop Frames next Wednesday, and then I think it's 6 p.m. Eastern. I'll look in that time later tonight, so don't go spreading that around just yet. We'll do another Drop Frames with me, Mathel, Ziz, and Chris Wilson from GGG, and also maybe another dev to talk about like gameplay balance and stuff like that. So that should be next Wednesday. So we'll have 6 hours of Drop Frames with a 2-hour break in between the normal show and the PoE show. So still getting all the facts and solidifying all that stuff, so don't go promote it just yet. If you can, do me that favor. But I should have all the information sometime tonight, if not tomorrow, for that. So you want to watch Raft, the first chapter, and then we'll go to a break?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, let's see what it is. Is this
Raxillian says topic suggestion, lyrics crazy viewer count lately? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. What's going on is Twitch is embedding the company is embedding lyric in Reddit ads. I think they're running tests. Or
is it Twitch
something.
though that's doing it? Was that ever confirmed?
That's what I've heard.
Okay, I don't know if it was. I did not know if
entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment purposes only.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I heard it was they set it up for a promotion of some kind, and then they just like left it on, and they're doing testing. That's what I heard. Again, I have no idea. It's not from Twitch that I heard that. That's what I was told, and that's why his numbers have been like 40K plus bigger than average.
Yeah,
like the last couple weeks.
Weird. Yeah, he's been idling right around 70K, which is I don't know. I mean, I think we've talked about like the whole.
That's just too many. That's too many viewers.
It's just too.
I mean, I would never want anything like that.
The funny thing about that is like he's even on his own channel of saying like, "Hey guys, I know there's a lot of you that might be on this Reddit page watching this. Come over to the channel because right now you're just a number that means nothing. So come on over, come join the chat."
Well, there's a lot of embedding stuff going on. There's actually a couple like actual channels that are doing their own embedding, like in their own site and inflating their numbers by 10, 12, 15, 20,000 a day.
Yeah.
So it's becoming more and more of a thing. But I think Twitch is just kind of dipping its foot in the pool right now to kind of test the waters and see how people react and everything. There's obviously no question that everyone's noticing it. So we'll kind of have to see how it goes. But another thing though that is very weird to think about is like when when streamers get their stream embedded,
yeah,
those views are counting.
Yeah.
Your viewer count is counting, and every time you run an ad block, you're getting compensated for the viewer number on your page. Well, when all those viewers are embedded, or a large majority of them are, those people are not paying attention or seeing those ads. So it's like, if I were an advertiser, I would be like, like, right. What are we doing? So I kind of wonder how that dynamic is working. Because that, like, somebody's just throwing away money. I don't know who, but somebody's just throwing away money. Might be the advertisers, might be Twitch. But yeah, somebody's getting screwed financially because of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess potentially. Yeah. I don't know. It's really weird to think about. It also, it makes you think, like, could a streamer potentially do this to boost his own analytics so that a contract comes along to where he goes to another site and it ups that contract value because his numbers are inflated? But like, I guess if the company doesn't do their research, you could just say, yeah, my normal average concurrent is 70,000. So do they?
Well, I can tell you that some of the channels that have been using like overt embedding practices, just kind of like, I don't want to call it shameless, but just like they let it, it's totally well known. Like, they're totally open about the fact of what they're doing.
Yeah.
They've been doing it now for like 4 to 6 months.
Right.
And Twitch hasn't done anything about it. So I don't think it's going anywhere. Like, I think if Twitch was going to do something about it, they would have. Also, full disclosure, I think I was put on whatever conveyor belt Lyric is on for I did a sponsored event, a charity stream thing with State Farm. And pretty much right when my stream started, I'd already streamed for like a couple hours that day. So I had like 10, 15,000, kind of my normal morning stream. And then right when that thing started, it was like in chunks, like 22,000, 31,000, 42,000.
Are you sure that it was just for that thing or for the last 3 years?
Come on, Zeke, it's more like 4 years. But anyway, it's the kind of thing where that's the thing. It like my viewer count literally tripled within about a 5-minute period. It went from like this, and just in 5 minutes, like tripled to the top. And then right when my stream was done, pretty much, like as I was running the outros, it chunked right back down. Like, it went from like 42, the next update was like 31, the next update was like 25. And so yeah, whatever system they're using or my guess is whatever system Lyric is in right now, they pointed the guns at my stream for that sponsored event and then shifted them wherever else they went. So.
And maybe you can't say this, it might be overreaching, but were you front page?
I was front page as well.
Yeah,
front page does not add 30,000 viewers.
Right, it doesn't.
I've been front paged many times in like I'm on front page rotation, so I will like randomly pop up on the front page whenever it happens. When I do, I definitely see it. Like, my viewers will go up between like 3,000 and 5,000 in a minute.
Yeah.
When I get front page, but this was totally different. You don't jump up 30,000 viewers in 5 minutes. That is way beyond anything the front page. Yeah, that's not what front paging.
This might be entertainment show. I don't even know if there's enough influx of viewers every 5 minutes on the front page of Twitch to garner 30,000 viewers on a front page slot.
Oh,
so
here, okay. Someone just linked a screenshot in my chat, and a promoted Reddit thing. So something that would show up on the front page of Reddit that you pay Reddit to do is a picture of Lyrics playing stream.
Huh? And does it autoplay there?
Yeah, it according to the screenshot.
Can you link this? I just want to see the screenshot for my own purposes. I won't necessarily show it.
And it looks like it was actually purchased. It looks like it was sponsored by Twitch, maybe. I'll pop it in here. So yeah, that could be exactly what it is.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Right there.
Huh. Yeah.
Am I going to talk about the fact that I have to play Fallout 76? You shut up. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it.
That. Yeah, good going there. But also good going raising like 30,000 for a charity that in a hour block or something like that.
2 hours.
2 hour block. Yeah, that's fucking nuts. Yeah. Here's the image in question that we're talking about. I just had to make sure there's nothing else here. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting.
So what may have happened is Twitch may have bought a Reddit promotional block for the charity stuff that they're like. I was one of the first people doing the charity stuff, but Dr. Lupo, Ammunition, and I think a few others are doing charity stuff all throughout December.
Yeah.
So maybe what they did is they just bought a big block of promoted Reddit stuff, and when the charity stuff happens, they pointed at that. And when the charity stuff's not happening, it's just like, well, we got to point it at someone, and Lyric's been here a long time. Let's give him some dap. So
yeah,
could just be something as basic as that.
I do wonder at some point where I don't know how much it costs to run stuff like that, but it costs enough, or it costs, I guess, less enough where Twitch is obviously doing it a lot. If you look at some of these bigger streamers that could potentially benefit and not necessarily take a huge hit from doing something like this, I wonder if we start to see individual streamers buy front page promotion on Reddit to get like that type of viewership. Do you think that's, I don't know how that would go in terms of.
I can see like people who are successful in another like vein, like they're already financially successful.
Yeah.
They're like, I want to dip my toe into the Twitch, and this is how I do it successfully. Like I buy ad time on Reddit.
I can see that.
That is what I think is probably going to happen. I think Zeke just nailed it. The thing is you have to remember
transitioning over or something. Yeah.
the only like the transition from people going from those sites to your site is extremely small. So even though I streamed to 40,000+ people for 2 hours, I had like less than 400 follows.
Yeah.
And I was playing Star Wars at the time, and Star Wars was still pretty hot. So like even the only thing that the amount of money you'd have to spend, the actual benefit you would get from it, the only real benefit you would get is you would be higher in the rankings of that game. So you would get more of those natural Twitch followers.
Yeah.
But the conversion rate is extremely tiny. So you're not going to get like a raw amount back from just that. You have to kind of leverage it with other things at the same time.
Well, here's another question. You mentioned playing Star Wars. I could totally see a world where in a big game release, Cyberpunk, if something comes to mind, like the week of release of Cyberpunk, someone throwing money down so that they sit at that top spot on all of Twitch in the Cyberpunk directory. Like, I don't know what those ads cost. I've never done the research, but I could totally see that being a thing, and it would probably be a worthwhile spend as long as it's not like multiple thousands of dollars, which it might be. I don't know what
that's the kind of thing that I'm most worried about with Twitch.
Yeah.
And I've talked to them about this exact thing is, like right now we're lucky where we only have a handful of channels that are using this kind of artificial inflation via embedding. But what's going to happen when the top 5, the top 10, the top 20 channels on Twitch are all artificially embedded, artificially inflated channels? Then it's just kind of like, oh man, like that I honestly feel like if it's kind of like, if WoW got so big it would have to kill itself, like Blizzard would have to kill WoW.
Yeah.
I feel like Twitch starting to allow that would be the downfall of Twitch. Like that's when Twitch would start going down.
I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Like I don't have a problem with it morally. Like I would like it to be separate. The numbers to be separate though. I would like it to
completely.
Be chatters, viewers.
So like, and it's funny that you say that, Zeke.
Yeah.
In those same conversations, it's kind of like whenever you look at someone's viewing amount, that should be the amount of people watching on Twitch. And all of the follow rankings when you click on a game should be real viewers from Twitch. And then in parentheses after that number, total views from external sites.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do. And then it's like best of both worlds. And that way no one.
And then the people who are looking at you to give you sponsorship deals and stuff like that will start to recognize like, okay, we don't want your viewer numbers. We want your actual like Twitch chat numbers or whatever. Like they're on twitch.tv/GoCarn.
I totally agree with you guys that I think that should exist. But if I'm Twitch, I look at you guys and what you're saying and say, you're fucking crazy. Why would we make it so difficult for viewers to understand like one number is all Twitch will ever put there? I don't think you'll ever see them split that.
Well, you have to think about it though, because if they're counting embedded views as the same as full views from an actual person,
yeah,
from an advertisement perspective, you would need to have those numbers separate. Like that's a really big deal.
Yeah.
Because like if you're going to be paying for an ad, you don't want it just running on the bottom of some page. You want a viewer watching that ad. So if they're going to be making that distinction, like why shouldn't we? Like why should streamers get kind of like, there's not really a better way to say it. why should a streamer trying to do it normally get kind of screwed over by streamers that are embedding? You know, because their streams aren't higher than those other streams because they're better. They're there because they're embedded. So like for instance, I'll never forget one of the big releases that came out. I actually wasn't playing it, but I remember going in and the embedded stream at the top. He was running it on a terrible computer. He was having huge technical issues. That he had to lower all his graphics. And the guy that was below him, slick ass overlays, running it at beautiful 1080 60. Everything's great. And the guy that was embedding had 5 times the viewers. And he barely wasn't talking. So it was clearly a much lower quality stream, had 10 times the viewers of the person who had been doing it for years trying to do it legitly. So that kind of situation, if you were to grow that out to where it's like the top 10 streams in every game category were streams like that, I think that would be a big problem for Twitch.
Oh, I think it's a big problem.
And viewers.
Without a doubt. Yeah. I just don't ever see, like, one, who knows if that'll even happen. And apparently Twitch doesn't care that much about it because they're the ones paying for the ad right now on Reddit.
Cared, they would have done something by now.
Yeah. Well, they're paying for the ad themselves. So clearly they don't mind because it still hasn't gone down from what I've seen. Someone else brought up another interesting question as it pertains to bounties. The way that bounties work on Twitch is that they basically tell you a payout per your normal or per a certain viewership. I wonder what it would be like if you ran a bounty on your page and then went and did a front page Reddit sponsor, if that bounty would pay out per the amount of viewers that you got from that embed as well. So like a normal streamer, say you average like 3,000 to 4,000 viewers, you go pay for the Reddit bounty for the same time that you're running, or go pay for the Reddit ad the same time you're running the bounty. Do you just get that much more money from the bounty? Like, how does that work? To where it will negate the price of the ad? I could totally see people like gaming the system in that sense. And that is eventually, I think, where Twitch would have to step in. Where they're actually like losing money for their potential advertisers. That might be where they step in, where it starts to impact business. But yeah, I don't know. It's a can of worms that Twitch has definitely opened that I think will only get worse.
Twitch is huge about embedding all their own stuff. Like Twitch has been embedding for their Overwatch content. They will straight go to other websites and just get their stream embedded to inflate the numbers of their own stuff. So
sure, yeah.
I mean, Twitch is I don't think there's any argument here that Twitch doesn't know exactly what's going on with this stuff.
Yeah,
as they also leverage the same system.
Well, it's not like it's some rogue employee that was like, all right, let's go get those numbers up for the quarter. It's probably a conscious decision that multiple people looked over and said, like, yeah, let's go ahead and move forward with that. Clearly, because it's been about a week now that Lyric's been averaging 70,000 viewers playing games that don't normally do that, and playing an audience that generally is around 20,000 to 30,000. And he himself is just like, can we fucking stop this? Like, I'm getting tired of having this amount of shit. Because it's the type of question where people will join the stream only because you have that many viewers and ask, like, why are there so many people here? And that's really fucking annoying as a streamer.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm really curious to see if we get any sort of statement or if they get out there and say anything about that. Because it is starting to enter kind of the mainstream streaming world conversation to where it's eventually going to get big enough that if that can of worm continue to open and, like we said, bigger streamers start paying for their own ads on places or their own embeds somewhere, does it become a world where Ko is exactly right in saying that the top 10 streams on any given hot game are just embedded streams that are not really real viewership?
Basically, like the premise would be that Twitch viewer lists become 100% capitalism.
Yeah.
How much money do you have to spread your stream around the internet? Because that will determine your place in the Twitch ranking.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
We'll see.
And then also the idea of growing a stream just fucking goes out the window. I think in general.
Oh, dude,
Twitch, like
yeah.
Smaller streamers just stop, just fucking kill it.
If that embedding stuff actually happens, like the idea of starting and growing on Twitch from nowhere is just going to become that much more difficult by a factor of God only knows how much. Like if that actually became a thing.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's really wild.
Yeah,
it's just gonna become like trying to be like an actor and get like a singer,
an actor
name a thing,
with zero connection, no network.
Yeah,
just going down to LA right out of college and just being like, okay, I guess we'll do some auditions.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, if that wasn't grim enough for you, about the future at Twitch, don't worry.
We've been saying it since the beginning, though. Dude, we've been saying it since the beginning. Like stream act, dance, sing to have fun. Like if you have fun doing it, fucking do it.
Right.
Like if you get discovered or whatever, if you get popular, successful, whatever, it's like that's awesome. Like I never expected, like I don't know if you guys but I never expected this to make me any money when I started.
I don't think any of us did. Yeah. It just turned into a thing. So yeah. Well, cool. Let's take a break on that note, and we'll come back and actually talk about some video games. So see you guys in a bit. We'll be right back.
My baby and I like new silky sheets every night. He buys me fur and whiskey neat and keeps them coming every week. Ooh, he wants the summer with schools out for summer, and we live by his mother. I keep my drugs in the cupboard 'cause I'm only sweet when I'm high. choice, does he even know me? Ooh, I'm never sure when he'll be home. Get into trouble on my own, I don't get lonely. Ooh, he wants the suburbs with schools out for summer, and we live by his mother. I keep my drugs in the cupboard 'cause I'm only sweet when I'm high. 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 LA skyline, neon sign, solitary, creeps to